just, it wasn't one day that I wasn't drinking. And like I said, I'm not trying to say that that was the only reason it happened. I guess attention, loneliness, just, I mean, it's, be honest with you.
Yeah, be honest with me.
I don't even know. I don't know what I was thinking. I wanted what I wanted. And if I wasn't happy, nobody else around me could be happy. That would.
All right, please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record. Got you on mute. All right, go ahead. State your name, introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number.
Michael Thibodeau, 540-852.
All right, Michael, my name is Brendan Kelsey. Along with me is Ms. Pearl Wise and Mr. Albert Roche will be your panel. Explain the process to you, read some information to the record, have a parole interview, ask you some questions. You can respond. At the end, you can make a statement. We'll take a vote. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
I see you have Lori Gerard who will be speaking and Glenda Thibodeau that'll be speaking at the appropriate time. Michael Thibodeau, DOC number 540-852. You are a first-class offender, not parole eligibility date 11/25/2015. Good time, not eligible for good time date. Full term date 3/17/2030. 22-year sentence. Aggravated incest. Contributed to delinquency of minor. Does that sound correct? 2 counts of that. Aggravated incest. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
How old are you, Mr. Thibodeau?
49 years old.
How long have you been incarcerated?
14 and a half years.
You also have Miss Lexi Trahan, who will be the victim, will be speaking today as well. How long have you been incarcerated?
14 and a half years.
Okay. What do you currently do there at the facility? You do anything? You work? You do anything? What do you do?
Well, currently I'm a mentor / CT tutor. I've been a certified mentor with the transition program and currently with the vets mentorship program. And I'm also a certified CTE tutor with NCCR, the National Center for Education and Research out of Florida.
Okay. What were you doing before you were incarcerated? What kind of work were you doing?
I was a captain on the offshore tugboat.
So you were out for so long and in for so long?
Yes, sir. I was normally working, depending on if I was in the country or out the country, normally for every 2 days I was gone, I was back for 1 day. 14 and 7, 16 and 30.
Tell me, what kind of classes have you taken? I know you're a tutor and a mentor. You told me that. Have you taken sex offender treatment? Have you taken the 4 phases of that?
No, sir, I have not. I am currently on the backlog list. I've been on the backlog list. I've been trying to get in it.
Okay, working on that.
I have contacted people in Ville Platte and set it up, and they understand when I come home. They told me to contact them, and I will be enrolled in sex offense treatment in Ville Platte upon my release.
Hey, well, Lexi, if you have opportunity to take it there, you need to take it there. You need to get it as soon as you can. What is your plans if you were to be released? Where are you going to go? What you going to do?
Well, my mother, I plan on going to stay with my mother out in Leonville. That's my immediate release plan, going there. Continuing what I've been doing, going to AA. I have several job offers. My brother-in-law, he works at Weeks Marine. They told me I have a job opportunity to go see him. They also with different places in Appaloosa doing construction work. Several people have expressed to my dad that they would be willing to hire me.
Tell me tell me about your drug and alcohol problem. You had a drug and alcohol problem?
Alcohol.
No drugs?
I did a little drugs when I was younger, when I was a teenager. I went through rehab. I went through rehabilitation when I was 15. I left the drugs alone, but I forgot one thing: alcohol is still a drug. And I continued on, and I couldn't see what I was doing with my drinking. And I've been active member here with AANA, and that's one of the things that I know I got to continue on. Need that support. And
hospital stays? You got some medical condition or something?
Excuse me?
Have you had some medical conditions? Have you been in the hospital or had some hospital stays?
I was in the hospital back in May for 4 days. I had a real bad staph infection, and I was in the hospital for 4 days in Baton Rouge.
You don't have any type of medical conditions though?
Blood pressure, it's mild. I take mild blood pressure medicine, and
nothing out of the ordinary.
no, nothing out of the ordinary.
All right, well, so let's get to the crime, since this is a pretty significant crime. I went through it line by line, nothing good about it. Tell me about it. Tell me what was going on. You said you were drinking. Tell me about
it. Well, it's never easy.
I know it's not easy, but you in there for it, so you might as well be able to learn to live with it. So you need to tell me about it.
Right. Alcohol. I'm not trying to justify it or trying to blame anything else. I take full responsibility for what I did. There's no denying that alcohol played a big part on some of my decisions I made. Wasn't thinking clearly. I took advantage of people when I shouldn't have taken advantage of them. And I'm very remorseful for what I've done. There's no amount of words that I could speak to y'all or to anybody that can ever take away what I've done.
How long was it going on?
Altogether, probably about a couple months. I would say maybe 2 months.
You say, and you were just drunk the whole time? You were drinking every day? What was going through your mind there?
It wasn't one day that I wasn't drinking. And like I said, I'm not trying to say that was the only reason it happened. I guess attention, loneliness, it's be honest with you.
Yeah, be honest with you.
I don't even know. I don't know what I was thinking. I wanted what I wanted. And if I wasn't happy, nobody else around me could be happy.
Yeah, like I said, that sex offender treatment would really help you. I tell you, you learn a whole lot about that. You need some victim awareness or some things you need. Uh,
I have all the books.
yeah,
I have the books. I have been reading. I have been studying.
no, I believe you, but you know, it's one thing reading, it's one thing going through the courses. That's important. Warden, you got any input for us?
Yes, sir, Mr. Kelsey. You know, he's done real well here over the years. He's done a lot of good programs. He's been a facilitator and mentor program for years. I guess none of that can take away the impact of that victim at all. But he has done real well. He hasn't had a write up, I think, since 2014. I would like to see him get sex offender treatment and victim impact, and him and I spoke about that. He does have a real good family support. In fact, I met his dad at visitation last weekend, but I do believe he needs that treatment.
All right, thank you.
I have a question.
Ms. Parole.
Sir, I was on the panel last time and there was some discussions about you reaching out to the victims. Has that occurred again? Have you tried to reach out to your victims?
Did you try to reach out to them?
Did I try to reach out towards the victims?
Yes or no?
I've spoken to her. I mean, I was on the phone with my dad, and she got on the phone and talked to me once and asked me to write her. And
You did?
I wrote to my dad. I wrote a letter and I sent it to my dad, and I expressed that it was her choice if she wanted to read it or not. That was about 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
That was your last hearing was in 19. So that was, have you reached out to or had any contact with her since 2019?
No, ma'am.
19. Okay. And you tell me what you think about this. And as I heard you talk, and you tell me what you think. You want to help everybody else address their problems, but you don't want to sit down, do some FaceTime, and address your own problem by getting in that class. Could that be it?
I have no problem getting into class. When I got here, in fact, the day I got sentenced in front of Judge Watney, I spoke to him and I asked him to make it that I told him I wanted help. Okay. I asked him in court, that I wanted help. And as soon as I got here to Hunt, I told him, I signed up for the classes. They told me I was on the backlog list. Since 2019, Warden Staggs contacted mental health to try to get me into class. I never heard, he assured me that he was gonna get me in class. And I haven't heard anything from them. I have written mental health to try to get into classes, and they keep telling me on the backlog list. Since the pandemic, they're just starting everything back up now. They're telling me that they're trying to finish up those classes that they already have gone from before the pandemic. And I have no problem. I want it. I want the help.
I'm glad to hear that. I am so glad to hear that. Thank you for answering my questions. That's all I have, Chair.
Okay. Now we'll hear from Ms. Lori. I'm sorry, Ms. Thibodeau, you could. I apologize. I wasn't paying. Yeah, Ms. Thibodeau, you go ahead. You can make your statement, and then Lori can make your statement.
Yes, my name is Glenda Thibodeau. I'm Michael's mother. It's been a long road. It's been almost 15 years. If Michael is granted parole, I'm willingly and gladly have Michael come stay with me over here. And my daughter lives right next door to me. We have a lot of support for Michael over here. We're all wanting him to come out, and we all seen the changes Michael has made. And even since his last parole of 19, we've seen even bigger changes that have gone through it, Michael. He has done so much to try to better himself. Michael is not the same person that went in there 14 years ago. He is entirely different. I mean, we go visit, his dad goes visit, we all visit him, and every once in a while, probably his dad more, but we're all going to be very supportive of Michael, and we will make sure Michael gets to his classes and does what he needs to do to stay on track. I'm just begging, thank you, and try to grant him his parole. I really think Michael is ready to come home. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your comment. All right, Ms. Lori.
My name is Lori Gerard. I am Michael's oldest sister and only sibling. And I hate to say Mom said most of what I wanted to say too, but I go through a lot. I'm an educator and I see a lot of different things. And I have seen my brother grow so much over these last few years. And like Mom said, even more so since his last hearing. He has just put himself out there. He's taken the classes. He's teaching the classes. He's become a trustee. He's doing mentoring. I mean, I can't even name everything. If I'm not mistaken, we sent a book to y'all of all his accomplishment, all his certificates and things like that he has. And again, like Mom said, he's not the same person that went in there. He has changed. He has grown. He's matured more than you can ever imagine. And again, I'm really proud of him, and I'm really hoping he comes home. We need him home. We need to be here with him and help him to support him the rest of the way. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your comment. Now we'll hear from Ms. Lexi Trahan.
Hello.
I can hear you now.
Okay. I just want to say that, okay, so I was 13 when this man, a man that is supposed to be my father, a man that is supposed to protect me, sexually assaulted me. I was 13. I have been through so much because of what he has done to me. If he's changed, that's all fine and dandy, but I'm supposed to have 22 years of safety and peace of mind, that he can't hurt me, that he can't come for me and my family. And as far as him saying that I asked him to write me, I never asked him to write me. He asked if it would be okay to write me, to be able to explain why he did what he did to me. And I got the same excuse in that letter of why he did what he did. And that was 4 years ago. He had 10 years at that point to actually explain what he did, why he did it. And yes, I foolishly accepted the letter. I admit that. But as his child, I wanted to know why my life was so invaluable to him. I have been to numerous counselors. I'm still on medication because I have panic attacks. I should not have to give up my peace of mind because he wants to be out early and not accept his full sentence. Because I don't get to get out of this early. I will deal with this for the rest of my life. And I understand he has a great support system. I understand he's done all this work. And I commend him on that for trying to better himself. But it shouldn't have that's what he's supposed to do. That's what he needs to do. He has always been a manipulator and to get out of what he is supposed to be doing.
All right.
And I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Finish up. Yes, ma'am.
And the alcohol it did not play as big of a part in the situation that he makes it out to be, because he knew what he was doing. He told me it was because I looked like my mom and he missed my mom. That is why he did what he did to me.
Thank you so much.
I should not have to live. I should not have to live like this.
Yes, ma'am. So sorry. Sorry here. So sorry. Thank you, Pete. Thank you so much.
Now see, I have several issues with this. At the beginning of the video, you could see his mom sitting up front in support alongside his sister. But when the victim was called, who's his daughter, they receded to the back, which is body language for detachment and disengagement. Watch as the clip continues how his sister sits up in her chair when it's his turn to speak again. And this is why I created my channel, because that young lady does not have any support right now. Secondly, let's get into the reason why he hurt her. Because he was lonely and she looks like her mom. That was the most repulsive thing I've ever heard. You mean to tell me that there were no other women on earth? It really bothers me to even talk about this because I know how precious the daughter and father bond is. And speaking of family, isn't that her grandmother and her aunt? Why aren't they in the chair for her? My nose will be glued to the screen in support of her. But I want you to keep a close eye on the family. I want you to see their reaction when the board casts their vote. I want you to keep in mind everything that I've said. It's the most bizarre thing.
All right, Michael, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
Yes, I would.
Go ahead. Speak to the board.
You know, as I sit here listening to her, everything she said is absolutely correct. As a father, I was supposed to be her protector. I was supposed to be her teacher. I was supposed to be her guide. And I was just supposed to be her father. Because of my selfishness, because of my self-centeredness, I did those things to her. There is no excuse whatsoever. You know, it's never been easy for me to admit guilt about anything I've done in my life. I've always tried to blame everything and justify everything that I did on somebody else. It was always somebody else's fault. I'll stand up today and I admit this was my fault. Mr. Roche, I'm glad to see you. 3.5 years ago, I made a promise to you that I was going to continue to do everything I can in my life to improve my life. And it's not going to stop. I gave you my commitment back then. I'm going to give it to you again today. Whether I'm in here or back out into society that deemed me unfit to be amongst them 14.5 years ago, I'm going to do everything I can in my power. I want to take the classes. I have it set up. I will take them. I will continue with my rehab with support of AA. I will not go anywhere outside of where I'm not supposed to be. I do not want to come back to prison. And I will do everything in my power. And I understand that the victim and her family have reasons they don't want me out. I understand. No amount of words can ever take back what I've done. So
All right. Thank
I do have great support. And I do believe that with the support system I have and with the tools that I've gained in here, I can come out there and be a productive citizen. And I thank y'all for this opportunity.
All right. Thank you for your comment. Appreciate your comment. Panel prepared to vote. I'll vote first. Michael, yes, sounds like you're heading in the right direction for sure. You're doing some good things in there. But look, I've been pretty consistent since I've been on this board. Somebody with your charges, and until you complete sex offender treatment, I'm just not going to be able to help you. I'm not going to be able to consider you to be released. I would encourage you to get your sex offender treatment, victim awareness, whatever you need to do. It's a terrible crime. I know it is bad, but you need to continue to work on yourself, and the sex offender treatment plays a huge role for that. So you got to have a law enforcement opposition, victim opposition, and you haven't taken the class. So for those reasons, I'll vote to deny. Ms. Wise?
Lexi, I want to appreciate you and applaud you for showing up and letting your voice be heard. You're doing a lot better than you think you are. You really are. And to Mr. Michael, my vote is the same for the same reasons.
Mr. Rocha?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Michael, good morning. I'm glad to see that you're continuing to move forward in trying to create a new beginning. But I'm going to vote to deny your request this morning, and the primary reason, as a victim advocate, the victim of this crime, your daughter, is not ready for your release. She's still mentally, physically, and emotionally affected by the offenses, and she is not ready. The second reason is that you have no sex offender treatment. You can read all the books you want, but until you go through the first 3 phases and absorb all the information, and then in the 4th phase, you sort of regurgitate the information as a facilitator and go over that information again in helping to teach the course, you will not fully understand the damage that you've done to your daughter. And you have overwhelming opposition from the judge, the DA's office, law enforcement, the victim, and the victim's family. You've always going to have that. But get the sex offender treatment, continue what you're doing now, and it might be a different story next time. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, you have 3 votes to deny your parole. Today, your parole's been denied. And let's see, that'll be it for Hunt. We'll adjourn at Hunt at 9:20. Thank you, Warden.
Thank you, Warden.
Yeah.
Thank you.